with national and international experiences. Your Highness, the CB is so intimidating and is so bulky that I, with your permission, I will need to cut it short here to say that Professor Phantami is a fellow of the British Computer Society, as well as a fellow of Cyber Security and Cyber Crime Forensic Specialist Group. He is also a registered computer scientist with the Computer Professional Registration Council of Nigeria, and also registered with Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, among others. Our Ibrahim Sheikh is happily married, I don't know with how many wives, children, and many grandchildren. Please put your hands together for our Ibrahim Professor. Thank you very much. Your Highness, distinguished personalities here, it's my singular honor and privilege to present to you Professor Isah Ali Ibrahim Phantami, former Minister of Communication and former Minister of Digital Economy, to present his lecture today. Can we put our hands together once again? And the lecture today is titled Artificial Intelligence in Education, Opportunities, Challenges, and Ethical Implications in Nigeria Education System. So please welcome Professor Isah Ali Phantami to the program. Put your hands together once again. Put your hands together. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ready? So. Sorry. No. Thank you, sir.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful and the especially merciful, may Allah's peace, mercy and blessings be upon you. Our Royal Father, with a very high level combined honors of His Excellency and His Royal Highness. His Excellency, for being an ambassador, Royal Highness for being the Emir of Zazzau. With an extension of being the Chancellor for 4 universities in Nigeria. This is indeed a new record. Our Royal Father, the Emir of Zazzau, and the Chairman of the Council of Emirs and Chiefs, Ambassador Malam Ahmad Nuhu Bamali CFR, the Chairman of today's occasion, my respected brother, the immediate past Vice Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Professor Kabiru Bala, and also Maganin Garin Zazzau, Professor Ahmad Tijani Mora, and also the Maganin Garin Nufe. Permit me also to recognize my friend, even though he deserves recognition, the Deputy Chairman of Zaria Local Government, Al-Hafiz, and also Honorable, not horrible, Honorable Abdullahi Abba Zaria. My brother also, Alhaji Ahmad Bafa Abdullahi, a retired director with the Central Bank of Nigeria, and also the former chairman of a NIPOST Property and Development Company of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. due to the time constraint, permit me to recognize, or rather to copy and paste the protocol earlier observed by the facilitator of the event, and also to recognize our fellow academics, our fellow students, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Also permit me to recognize my brother, Professor Sahanu Balarabe Junaid, the Dean of Student Affairs. Today is the 14th of Jamad al-Akhirah, 1447 Hijrah, and for the Gregorian date is, what is today's date? 6th of December 2025 CE. We converge here on Ahmadu Bello University Zaria campus. As you always say that you are naturally ahead, not naturally behind. I want to admit that you are naturally ahead. Ahmadu Bello University Zaria produced the university that gave me my Bachelor of Technology, Computer Science, MSc Computer Science, and MBA Technology Management, and I was employed by the university for 11 years. With this, definitely ABU deserves to be recognized by this gentle boy as naturally ahead. Once again, we converge here for the annual lecture organized by the Zaria Education and Development Association, ZEDA, and His Highness happens to be the grand patron of the association. The invitation came to me, inviting me to be here with you and serve as the guest speaker or the keynote speaker through Al-Hafiz Abdullahi Abbazaria. When he notified me of the invitation, I was only waiting for his arrival in order to tender my apology for my inability to be here in person, since he informed me about the date of the event. So after his arrival, he submitted the invitation to me personally, and I opened the invitation letter, and I discovered that the letter has been signed by our royal father, His Excellency and His Royal Highness, the Emir of Zazzau. Because of this, I immediately withdrew my informal apology that I earlier intended to present. And I requested one of my colleagues working with me to reschedule other engagements so that, inshallah, I will be here in person with you. We are grateful to Allah that we are here physically with you, and also you have to appreciate our royal father for personally signing the invitation, because that is what compelled me to reschedule all my activities and be here in person. In addition, the topic of our presentation today, as indicated by the association, is artificial intelligence in education, opportunities, challenges, and ethical implications for the Nigerian education system. This topic is very apt and relevant because artificial intelligence is becoming inevitable, unavoidable, and unstoppable. And it becomes necessary that it is a technology that we cannot resist. You can delay the adoption of a technology, but you cannot terminate it permanently. If that happens to be the case, what becomes necessary is for us to discuss artificial intelligence in the context of our education and see how we can deploy, develop, and adopt it in order to enhance and integrate the system. In order to simplify my presentation, I intend to follow a 5-step algorithm. Number 1 is introduction. Number 2, the modern evolution of artificial intelligence. Number 3, AI opportunities for education and educators. Number 4, ethical implications and challenges for the Nigerian education system. Number 5, recommendations and conclusion. Introduction, that is number 1, introduction. Artificial intelligence, in summary, is a branch of computer science that has been developed, or that is being developed, in order to copy and emulate the cognitive functions of humans. These cognitive functions, like listening, like speaking, like reasoning, like decision making, these are some of the cognitive functions that we exhibit. So in a situation where a machine has been developed or is being developed with the primary purpose of copying these cognitive functions that are being exhibited by you and I, then that machine falls under the category of artificial intelligence. That is why the machine that exhibits our cognitive function is called artificial intelligence, or machine intelligence, or even machine learning. While the functions we demonstrate, in our own case, we are human intelligence or natural intelligence. So artificial intelligence is all about coming up with a system, computer system or smart system that can exhibit the cognitive functions that you and I exhibit. So this is, in summary, what AI is all about. And there are many questions to be answered with regards to AI. AI is arguably the most important invention in recent history. And it is undoubtedly the most important invention of the 21st century, or the 4th industrial revolution. It is because of this Elon Musk was making a presentation and also making an argument that AI has the potential of becoming the most important invention in human history, and also has the potential of becoming the worst invention in human history. So by implication, AI is a double-edged sword. It could be deployed for good or for evil. It all depends on how we develop it, how we adopt, and how we deploy it. So there is a very high probability it could be the best, and it could also be the worst. Furthermore, some of the most important arguments that we need to promote and put it at the back of our minds is the fact that AI for education, AI should be a partner for teachers and educators, not a substitute. AI is supposed to is being developed and is being deployed in order to support you as an educator or as a teacher, not in any way to replace you. And this will also bring about another question that we need to answer. So if that is the case, can AI replace you in your work? Can AI make you a jobless person? Can AI take over your job away from you? It all depends. However, AI as a system cannot take away your job from you. But your colleagues who master AI, your colleagues who become experts in AI have the potential of taking away your job from you, not AI in itself. AI cannot develop itself. AI cannot independently and inherently operate itself. AI cannot refire itself. So AI is being developed by you and I, is being operated by you and I, and is being repaired by you and I. So by implication, the challenge is not about AI challenging your own job, but rather other people who master AI are the ones that can take away your job from you. It is because of this we need to learn AI administratively and technically. What are the areas of AI application in your own job, whether as a medical expert, or as an academic, or as an educator, or as a farmer, or as an administrator, or as a diplomat? It becomes necessary that you learn AI administratively and technically in order to retain your job. And you can achieve that by partaking in three things. Number one, upskilling. Number two, reskilling. And number three is cross-skilling. By doing upskilling, reskilling, and cross-skilling, there is a very high probability that you can not only retain your job, but you can undoubtedly become an expert and a hot cake in your own job. So it is because of this, the challenge of job displacement is not in any way from AI, but from others who learn AI and master AI and also learn the application of AI in their job, and they also deploy AI in order to achieve the goals of your job. And there are many of them. Through AI, there is a very high probability of increasing the quality of your job. A research conducted by the World Economic Forum has indicated that generally AI has the potential of improving the quality of your work by around 40%. And it will save time, it will increase precision and accuracy for you as an educator, in addition to so many other benefits that we can discuss, inshallah, in the process of our presentation, even superficially. This takes me to the second step of our discussion, that is the modern evolution of artificial intelligence. The development of artificial intelligence can be divided into two: the ancient evolution of AI and the modern and contemporary development of AI, or what you can call the 21st century development of artificial intelligence. My intention is to speak more, or rather on a larger scale, on the modern evolution of artificial intelligence. But with regards to the ancient evolution of artificial intelligence, we can say that commenced over 1,100 years ago with the development of algorithm and also the invention of algebra by Abu Ja'far Muhammad bin Musa al-Khawarizmi of Darul Hikmah in Baghdad. He was born 1780 and he passed away 850 CE. So he lived in this world for 70 years. May Allah be merciful to him. Abu Ja'far Muhammad bin Musa al-Khawarizmi is being considered as the father of algebra. Algebra, the systematic way of solving an equation. And also is being considered as the ancient father of artificial intelligence through the development of algorithm, which is the step-by-step method being followed in order to solve a problem. So these two inventions provided the solid foundation and also the solid fundamental component of AI development. Because if you take away his invention, today there won't be computer science. And if you take away his invention of over 1,100 years ago, there won't be any artificial intelligence today. So he is the one who established the foundation of artificial intelligence, and also being supported by the invention of Al-Kindi, of logic, and also the invention of Al-Jazari and Abu Musa, where they invented robots, automation, and mechanical devices. So these inventions that were done over 1,100 years ago, up to around 900 years ago, by our forefathers, established the solid foundation of what artificial intelligence is all about today. In fact, not only AI, all the emerging technologies you have, cybersecurity, nanotechnology, biotechnology, augmented reality, virtual reality, 5G, cybersecurity, and many more, none of them can function today without algorithm. So the algorithm becomes a primary component of each and every invention of the fourth industrial revolution. This is in general about the ancient evolution of artificial intelligence. This brings me back to discussing the modern evolution of artificial intelligence. The modern evolution of artificial intelligence can arguably say that it commenced around 1950, that is 75 years ago, through the effort of Alan Turing of University of Manchester in England. Alan Turing did a lot for modern computing, and he also set the foundation of the modern evolution of artificial intelligence, even though the significant part of his work was more theoretical. But the implementation of that theory brought about some of the major achievements of AI that we are witnessing today. What Alan Turing did in 1950 is only making an attempt. He was making an attempt to answer only one question. That question was, can a machine think? Can computer think? Can a computer system partake in critical thinking? This is just the question. Can a machine think? This is the question. And in order to answer that question, he came up with a theory. That theory, firstly, he appointed a human interrogator. After that, he also appointed two participants. These two participants, one was a human, the other one was a machine. A human being and a machine system. And that human interrogator was requested to send a question to both of them without knowing which one was a machine and which one was a human being. So if that question was sent, both of them could reply. When they replied, that human interrogator was requested to make an attempt to differentiate the response of a human being from the response of a machine system. So if that human interrogator could differentiate that clearly, this response is from a machine and this is from a human being, then definitely machine cannot think like you and I. But if differentiating between that response from a machine cannot be differentiated from a human response, then the aim has been achieved, that machine can think like you and I. So this is in summary. It was not about whether the machine could answer the question correctly or not. No. It was only about whether through the response we could be able to differentiate between both of them. If you struggle to differentiate, then definitely there is a clear indication that the difficulty in differentiating is because of the fact that machine thinks similar to your thinking. So this is what he actually did, and this is his the foundation, and he published his theory and this concept in a paper entitled Computing Machinery and Intelligence. So the whole theory is about, can a machine exhibit a human-like intelligence? So it was the foundation. And after several trials, in the first 21st century, we reach a situation where that theory has been implemented significantly. Furthermore, his effort on that theory was also promoted in 1956. Starting from 1955, that is 70 years, to 1956, that is 69 years, in Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the US. Through the effort of John McAfee and others, during a conference they organized by name Dartmouth Conference. So they made a presentation during the Dartmouth summer research report they presented. And in that report in 1956, the phrase AI appeared for the first time in any literature. So they came up with the phrase artificial intelligence. That phrase emerged in a literature for the first time in 1956, that is 69 years ago. In that conference, they came up with the phrase, and they promoted the theory of Alan Turing that we earlier explained superficially. And after that effort, John McAfee led a team that developed and also established the first ever MIT AI laboratory in MIT University in the US. And after establishing that, he independently established the first ever Salford AI laboratory in Salford University. John McAfee also went further. In 1958, he developed the second oldest high-level programming language entitled as List Processing Programming Language. And that happened to be the first ever high-level programming language for artificial intelligence development. So this is in summary about the modern evolution and invention of artificial intelligence. Even though most of these interventions were not globally known because they were at the initial stage, AI became more prominent in the fourth industrial revolution, which commenced in 2001, that is 24 years ago. So in the fourth industrial revolution, AI became very prominent since 2001. However, being prominent was largely being embedded in other systems like Google search engine. Since its invention, there is a component of artificial intelligence in it, because you only search and the machine will look at the relevant information about your search and present you. So AI or Google search engine has a component of AI. The same with YouTube. And today, any application that can make a recommendation to you has an AI embedded or integrated in it. When you make a search online, you will discover that that system will continue to make so many recommendations and proposals to you with regards to other development or information in relation to your searching. Are you following? In addition, AI becomes a household name in 2022 3 years ago with the invention of ChatGPT. ChatGPT was launched in 2022. After launching ChatGPT with only 2 months, that ChatGPT recorded an unprecedented record of having over 200 million users within 2 months. But remember that when Instagram was invented, it took Instagram 2.5 years to have this number, 200 million users globally. Netflix, it took Netflix 10 years to achieve this, 200 million users. But in the case of ChatGPT, that has been achieved within only 2 months, approximately 60 days. So, and the number is increasing by the day. And many applications are being developed and being deployed. Many systems of AI are being developed and they are being launched globally. And the users are increasing by the day. So this is to show to us that this explosion of AI, the explosion of AI that we are witnessing today commenced with the ChatGPT launching just only 3 years ago, and AI becomes a household name. This takes me, okay, in order to add to that as well, in order to take this to higher stages, in 2019, only 6 years ago, the government of the United Arab Emirates, UAE, established the first ever University of Artificial Intelligence globally. So we witnessed the first ever University of Artificial Intelligence, full-fledged University of AI, named as Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence. And they did so by introducing postgraduate courses in AI, MSc and PhD courses in applied artificial intelligence, computer vision, machine learning, computer science, big data analytics, among others. Only this year, the university established their undergraduate section, and they commenced by introducing only 2 courses in AI. Number 1, AI engineering, and number 2, AI business. These are the only courses. So this is another achievement of UAE, where the country happens to be the first ever country to have a full-fledged artificial intelligence university globally, ahead of China, the US, the UK, and all other European countries. So these are some of the modern evolutions of AI. This takes me to the next stage of our discussion, that is AI opportunities for educators and for the Nigerian education system, as the topic requires us to address. The opportunities being presented by AI globally are enormous. I can only make an attempt to mention some of them superficially, and I do hope that will make us to appreciate the gist of my presentation. Number 1, job creation. I earlier explained superficially the argument that AI cannot take away your job, but other people who master AI can take away your job. So AI, according to the World Economic Forum, the most influential economic forum globally, in 2025 this year, approximately AI can help in creating 97 million new jobs globally, 97 million new jobs. And in addition, AI can approximately displace 85 million existing jobs within the same year 2025. So if you compute 97 minus 85 will give you a net gains of 12 million jobs. So 97 million new jobs and the displacement of another 85 million existing jobs. This is a displacement because the jobs are going to be taken away by others who master AI. It's not about making that job redundant, it's all about replacement. So these jobs are going to be replaced. One may wish to argue that today there is no single invention that has this potential of creating 97 million new jobs within the 2025, and also with the potential of displacing or replacing 85 million existing jobs. Besides AI, there is no invention that currently has the potential to attain that. So these opportunities are for you and I to grasp, are for our younger ones to grasp. And the opportunities are available worldwide. Number two, AI opportunities is about economic development. Economic development is critical. According to the World Economic Forum and also International Telecommunication Union, by 2030, it has been predicted that AI could increase the global gross domestic product by 15.7 trillion USD. 15.7 trillion USD. Remember that the largest economy in Africa today is South Africa. Their GDP is approximately 410 billion USD, 410. But AI as an invention has the potential of increasing the global GDP by 15.7 trillion USD. And the entire GDP of Africa as a continent with 54 countries and with also a population of 1.4 billion people approximately, the entire collective GDP of Africa as a continent, according to the International Monetary Fund, is approximately 2.8 trillion USD. 2.8. And this is the entire continent. But AI, by 2030, has the potential of adding 15.7 trillion USD. By implication, what AI could add in the next 5 years could be more than 5 times the GDP of Africa collectively as of today. Because 2.8 multiplied by 5 can give you 14. It's 14. So you see, even if you multiply our GDP 5 times, it's only 14 trillion USD. But AI alone has the potential of increasing the GDP by 15.7 trillion USD. That is why today the global economy is no more about only natural resources. It is about knowledge-based economy. It is all about knowledge-based economy. And that is why you'll discover that America and China are ahead. The GDP of America as a country is approximately 29.9 to 30 trillion USD. But look at where are the natural resources compared to other countries. The GDP of China is 19.9 trillion USD according to the International Monetary Fund. So if you look at it, the economy is no more just about natural resources. And that is why countries that have enormous natural resources are only utilizing the resources to build their knowledge-based economies. Only last year, Saudi Arabia invested 40 billion USD in artificial intelligence. Last year, that investment of 40 billion USD in AI was more than the entire artificial intelligence. So these countries are proactive, where they are using their resources, their natural resources, in order to build their knowledge-based economy. And the knowledge-based economy is not just about theory today, it's about hands-on, about critical thinking, about creativity, about invention. That is why dual education is key, or even triple education is key. It is not only about the university our youth attend, not only about the class of degree, it is all about what they can invent. Some of the inventions we are arguing today, you will discover in China, they are the inventions of secondary students. But up to this moment, most of our projects, including MSc and PhD, in so many instances, they are only, we do them as a prerequisite to our graduation, no more knowledge. While an undergraduate thesis today should have the potential of changing the lives of at least 10,000 people globally. We should think beyond a prerequisite for our graduation. It is all about touching people's lives positively, coming up with invention and innovations that can change the world. Number 3, AI opportunity. There are opportunities in AI for research grant and startup founders. And this is one of the most important components that I think we should explore. Like the Spencer Foundation, if you go online and check, you will discover that when you come up with a good proposal for research, they usually support you with a 50,000 USD just to support your research. 50,000 USD, I believe we have many professors here. You need to tell me this could be the salary of a professor for several years, because $10,000 is approximately 14.5 million naira. That $10,000 is more than the annual salary of not only a professor, even a vice chancellor. With due apologies to my brother, Professor Kabiru Bala. So this is an opportunity. An Erasmus Foundation in Europe also usually support research in AI and also startup. Even in Nigeria here, while in office in 2022, I led a team that developed Nigeria Startup Act, as earlier stated in our citation. In that act, there is a provision of supporting our young innovators with a startup funding, or what we call seed funding, where government year in, year out budgets a certain amount of money, a minimum of 10 billion naira annually, to support our young innovators when they come up with any research idea or with an invention that is important. So there are so many opportunities globally. Number 4, AI opportunity is what, for educators, is what is called personalized learning. Personalized learning can be attained through AI-powered tools, where AI system can understand the strengths and weaknesses of each and every student and come up with a content within a certain time frame that can be delivered to each and every student independently. No two people are identical. And also our talent differs. What some students can learn in a month, some can spend 1 year without completing it. So this is a major challenge where students in the same class, but they are not the same naturally. Some are ahead of others. When you go slowly, you are delaying some. When you increase the pace, then some cannot afford to cope up with it. So personalized learning is one of the major inventions of AI for educators. Salman Khan in India benefited from personalized learning of AI. And he made a statement that as far as he is concerned, the major opportunity presented by AI is the opportunity to partake in a personalized learning. According to him, this is the major invention of AI. Why? Because he is a direct beneficiary of that. So these are, and there are many to support you in your research opportunities, like ChatGPT, which is more of a general one. There is what is called Chat Academia. It's an AI system that can support educators, teachers, and researchers to conduct their research. And among the opportunities today, we have virtual universities globally. There are several virtual universities that they are being conducted through AI, augmented reality, virtual reality, and even 5G, where these facilities allow real-time communications between academics, teachers, and educators on one hand, and students and researchers on the other. So these are some of the major opportunities being presented by AI: job creation, economic growth and development, and also research grant, personalized learning environment, research facilities like Chat Academia, Zotero, among others. They are all AI platforms to support educators. And because of our time, I'm rushing. This takes me to the next stage of our discussion, that is step number 4, that is ethical implications and challenges. I will go through them superficially. There are ethical challenges with regards to AI. Number one challenge is the issue of data privacy and security. Data privacy and security is a major challenge. Based on our constitution in Nigeria, section 37 and 38 as amended, that our communications are private. And also we have our freedom to interact with other citizens. Without ethics, that provision of the Constitution is going to be challenged. And in order to support that provision of the Constitution, in 2021, I led a team that came up with the Nigeria Data Protection Act that was assented to by the President in 2023 in order to support data privacy and confidentiality of our data. Why? Because artificial intelligence relies significantly on the data. Okay, permit me to conclude briefly. Relies on the data being generated. And this data being generated is no more in kilobyte or megabyte or gigabyte or terabyte. It is largely now in petabyte or exabyte or zettabyte. So the quantity of data is huge. And this data is being generated through you and I, either legally or illegally. So through AI, if care is not taken, students submitting their data to any system, it is going to be compromised. So that is why data ethics in data privacy is important. Data security is also key. That is why cybersecurity is essential. Number two ethical issue is AI bias. Usually AI systems are not neutral. If I invent a system, AI system, the bias in me will undoubtedly be reflected in that AI, based on the quantity and the quality of data being presented to that AI. So when you ask AI a question, the answer is not from AI, but rather from the data available in the database of AI. So AI can make a decision based on the available data. If that data is biased, the answer is going to have. So if there is sentiment in that data, that sentiment is going to be reflected in that answer. That is why recently, even what is happening in Nigeria globally, is sometimes the data available online is one-sided. Based on our upbringing, we are forgiven, we forget and forgive. We don't make noise. So because of this, sometimes the oppressor becomes the oppressed and the oppressed becomes the oppressor. Why? Because the data available has bias and you cannot change it. Number three, academic integrity, if care is not taken, is going to be challenged by AI. Because today it is becoming difficult to assess your students independently based on their independent performance. Some students partake in their homework or assignment, doing things independently and even manually. Some of them can only generate an answer and customize the content and submit to you as their homework or assignment or even their final year thesis. So that academic integrity, Your Highness, His Highness the Emir of Zazzau may wish to go inshallah ta'ala because of the time constraint, so that I can conclude the recommendations inshallah. We appreciate your presence, even though His Highness is the father of the event. Then recommendations, and this is the final stage of the discussion. My recommendations, number one, or let me discuss even the challenges briefly. There are challenges in Nigeria with regards to our system of education. With regards to our system of education, number one, lack of AI infrastructure. In fact, lack of ICT infrastructure in general. We lack ICT infrastructure. Even uninterrupted internet connectivity is a problem. Sometimes, even modern computers are becoming unaffordable in some of our schools, including some higher institutions of learning, cannot afford to have a functioning laboratory, a functioning computer center with an uninterrupted connectivity. So infrastructure is our challenge number one. Number two challenge, lack of skilled personnel is another challenge. Not even AI. Some employees are even struggling today to use Microsoft Word and even Excel. Not to think of using artificial intelligence or even developing artificial intelligence. So this is another challenge. Number three, lack of funding. There is insufficient funding for education in Nigeria, starting from primary and secondary schools and up to even higher institutions of learning, colleges of education, polytechnics, and even universities. Lack of funding is a challenge. Funding is an issue. So you cannot in any way deploy and excel in AI without funding. You can do your best, but you will continue to struggle and struggle. A lack of training and retraining. Lack of training and retraining. We need to train our citizens, our educators, academics, and also and our teachers on how to use AI applications, how to develop AI applications, and how to administer AI applications and systems. These are some of the challenges in Nigeria. Then recommendations. Recommendation number 1 is we need to introduce AI-related courses in our schools, colleges of education, polytechnics, and universities. This AI knowledge is no more just a necessity, but to me it's an obligation, if and only if we want our students and other graduates to compete globally. It becomes an obligation that we must teach them AI, irrespective of what they study in their schools. In fact, we need to start introducing emerging technologies to our children, even in primary schools. This is what is being found in countries that are proactive, like China, South Korea, and other places. So it is important that we introduce that, and we need to look into our courses in our universities, colleges of education, and polytechnics. Some courses are not in demand globally, but unfortunately, we are enrolling our children in thousands annually. When students come to a school, you will discover they apply usually for MBBS, for computer science, for law, for electrical engineering, and few other courses. When these vacancies are not enough, we start sending them to other departments. This is a major problem to our system of education. Today, globally, it is not about producing graduates, but producing graduates that what they study is relevant. I don't want to cite any example because I'm not here to offend anyone. Because if I cite an example, it could be your area of study, and I don't want to discourage anyone. Globally, there are courses that they are only being offered in their first generation universities. For the sake of knowledge, you only retain them there. If you allow me, I can say there are courses that in Nigeria, we don't need them in more than 5 universities. ABU Zaria, Bayero University, Kano, University of Lagos, University of Nigeria, Unsuka, or Obafemi Olo University. These are the universities where you train courses that are not in demand. You have to produce what is being required in the labor market. But today you enroll a student to study a course, and you know there are no opportunities out there. Even by the time he comes in, not the time he graduates, but still you allow him to enroll. Indeed, this is a major challenge. We need to change the dimension and make sure that we introduce new courses that are determining the future of the world. This is what is important, not courses that are obsolete. These courses can only be retained in our first generation universities. If you are in demand of that, go there and study. But today, unfortunately, courses that are being replaced, they are being removed from other developed countries. We are still introducing them in our state universities, federal universities, in our private universities, and we are enrolling students. And even you, the teacher, and the students, both of you agree that there are no opportunities after graduation, but you still allow him to get enrolled. Issue number 2, we need to prioritize AI and other emerging technologies for our education. The competition today is no more local, but rather international. Our graduates, our students are competing now globally. The opportunities are out there globally. So it is necessary for us to invest more into AI and other emerging technologies so that our students can compete globally. Number three, in order to preserve our academic integrity, we need to supply our schools with AI generative content systems. This can intercept and also detect any plagiarism or any content that is not original. Even though through generative AI today, there is a high probability of coming up with a new and original content. But still, the way we have Tonitin.com of detecting plagiarism, there are platforms today. In order to preserve our academic environment, we need to provide our teachers, educators, and academics or lecturers with that system so that they could be able to detect the submission they receive from their students in order to preserve that integrity. Number four, recommendation. Our schools need to set up an AI task force. That AI task force is very important in our universities, colleges of education, in our polytechnics. That task force can come up with a regulation or a policy for AI deployment in our schools. The do's and don'ts, the do's and don'ts that are permissible, that are allowed by the university. Otherwise, we will continue to, in any way, we will continue to abuse and destroy the academic integrity. There must be a task force because you cannot in any way prevent your students from patronizing AI. But what is important, a university should have an AI task force so that they can come up with a policy, set up some guidelines for AI deployment, the do's and the don'ts. Things that are permissible can be formalized. Things that are not permissible can come up with a penalty for any student who compromises this. And I think this is also very important. And the task force can also partake in training and retraining of academics and even non-academic staff. And this is very important. And that task force can also come up with a content, a curricula that can be incorporated in our courses so that our students can have an intermediate knowledge of AI irrespective of what they study. Because of our time constraint, permit me to shut down the presentation here. Once again, I wish Zeda a very successful annual general meeting and discussion.
Can we give him a standing ovation? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. That has been our